For more on finance, we're joined by Rod North, Executive Director at Bourse Communications. Good morning. Thanks for being here. We saw big rallies on foreign markets last week, a bit of a drop-off last night. Why is that?
Well, I think we've seen some pretty good gains overall, so I think markets don't just always keep going up in a straight line. And I mean, it's interesting because we've seen the Dow hit sort of record levels not seen since back in 2007. When you've got a very powerful market at 13,500 plus, it's pretty incredible. And when you've got shares like Apple continuing to break records and getting very close to that sort of $700 mark, that's pretty significant. But it's interesting in the sort of contrast against our market, because of course our market reached a sort of 4-month high yesterday. It's up about 10% since June, but interestingly enough our market is still about 53% lower than where it was back in 2007. So there's still quite a disconnect between our market and the US market. So I suppose probably it gives investors the opportunity to have a really good close look at the Australian market and think maybe over the next few years, if things start to improve and the economy continues to improve, that companies' performance should get better, and therefore earnings will drive the share price hopefully upwards.
And hopefully today we'll get a little hint from the RBA about what it wants to do on interest rates.
Well, usually when the minutes come out, everyone's sort of looking very closely to see if there's any indication there, because of course we've had a couple of months now where the cash rate has stayed on hold at 3.5%. I mean, we're still getting sort of mixed views as to whether we'll see any further rate cut before the end of the year. I think, and there's a number of economists and analysts still predicting potentially there might be, and that might be to help stimulate particularly the retail sector, because we're still getting a lot of mixed messages there. We've got some interesting results coming out this week from two sort of major retailers, being David Jones, which will be much awaited, and also Kathmandu. So yet there's sort of the contrast of the success story of Rip Curl that's attracted international attention and sort of has a valuation potentially on it of about 480 million. Which,
it's formally up for sale now.
Which is formally up for sale, and Merrill Lynch have been appointed, to find a buyer there. And I mean, it was sort of unsolicited interest that sort of resulted in that, but it's an interesting contrast, I suppose, to other companies that perhaps here in the retail sector that haven't internationalised, whereas Rip Curl has very successfully and attracted a lot of interest.
What's the difference between Rip Curl and, say, Billabong that is not doing very well?
Well, I think when you look at those two companies, I think you've got, Rip Curl's been around for 40 years and it has become a global icon brand, an internationalised, very successfully, very well managed company, against all sort of vagaries. And I think they've been very commercial in their operations and so forth. And I think it all gets down to, issues of management, issues of internationalising your business, and also being able to create some sort of real value. And hence, I think they've been able to sort of ride out, in contrast to the rest of the sort of retail market, which has been a bit patchy.
And what can we expect on our market today?
Well, I think we're probably going to see, off the back of Wall Street being a bit flat last night, off 40-odd points, I think our market probably won't go terribly much in the positive territory today. I think it'll stay around the current level and hopefully sort of hold above 4,400, which will keep us all very happy, and maybe we can all go out and have some lunch today.
Rod North, thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Coming up, A Bug's Life Under the Big Top.